कोई जाने ना इस प्यार की गहराई, इन आँखों की गहराई। प्यार भरे ये दो निर्मल नैन, जिनसे मिला ये अमृतमय चैन। कोई जाने ना इस प्यार की गहराई, इन आँखों की गहराई। प्यार भरे ये दो निर्मल नैन। झील कहो पर उसको भी है तल, जिनके आगे सागर भी ओझल। सूर्य प्रकाश भी हो जाए ओझल, तुलना से भी ऊपर उठ गया इन नैनों का स्तर। प्यार भरे ये दो निर्मल नैन, जिनसे मिला ये अमृतमय चैन। जैसे सरिता सागर में जाए धुल, निर्मल मंगलता में गए हम घुल। भूत भविष्य की चिंता गए हम भूल। सुगंध में इस चेतना में निखरे हैं ये फूल। प्यार भरे ये दो निर्मल नैन, जिनसे मिला ये अमृतमय चैन। आंसू झरझर बह निकले, अनुकंपा जब जाती घटा बन। सुन लो इन नैनों से कभी हितकारी मीठे सच्चे खरे बैन। जीवन का सब सत्व है इनमें, जीवन का सब सत्व है इनमें। खुद को कर दो पूर्ण समर्पित, सब कुछ लुटा दो पाने को। सब कुछ लुटा दो पाने को, इन आँखों का अनमोल रतन। प्यार भरे ये दो निर्मल नैन, जिनसे मिला ये अमृतमय चैन, कोई जानना इस प्यार की गहराई, इन आँखों की गहराई। प्यार भरे ये दो निर्मल नैन, जिनसे मिला ये अमृतमय चैन। प्यार भरे ये दो निर्मल नैन, जिनसे मिला ये अमृतमय चैन। प्यार भरे ये दो निर्मल नैन।
Shree Mataji. Very warm welcome to all the seekers on our program this evening. As you are aware, by Shree Mataji's grace, we have been running these sessions online, and thousands of you have joined us both on YouTube and Zoom channels. And every day we are having 3 sessions for new seekers to understand a little bit about Sahaja Yoga as an introductory session. One in the morning at 8 a.m., one in the afternoon at 4:15, and one in the evening, which is this one, 7:45 p.m. Only on Saturdays we started a session in English for those of you who do not understand Hindi so well. Apart from this, for the seekers who have now established a bit in Sahaja Yoga and now understand Sahaja Yoga a little bit, at 5:30 p.m. we have a session going on where we go for a deeper meditation session. So what we'll do today is we'll talk a little bit about Sahaja Yoga, what it is, what it means to have your self-realization. We'll look at our internal subtle system a bit and talk about the Kundalini and the chakras a little bit. And then we'll have a meditation session where we'll get our self-realization. And after that, we can have some question answers where if you have any questions, any doubts, or you want to share your experiences in Sahaja Yoga till now, you can do that and we can come in a discussion. So let's start. To introduce Sahaja Yoga, first of all, I think it's important to talk about the word Sahaja Yoga itself. So the yoga has become something very, very common these days to talk about. Everybody's talking about yoga, and there is a lot of confusion out there, and people don't know what it means to get your yoga. So that's the starting point for us in terms of our seeking. So when we say we are seeking, it means that we are looking for something. It means that we are searching for something higher, which will give us something that we are missing. So for some people, it is about searching for peace or a relief from the turmoil of one's life, or it could be about some kind of well-being, maybe physical well-being, or emotional well-being, or monetary well-being. So there are a lot of things that people are seeking something or the other for. And we go to temples, churches, mosques, so many places, and we search for some kind of betterment in our lives. Apart from that, we try to go to so many gurus that are out there, so many meditation systems that have started out, and we try to figure out how to resolve our issues, how to resolve our problems through them. So there is a lot of seeking going on, and when we say the seeking is going on, this is truly uh, the one can say the blessings of these horrible times that we are in, which we call as the Ghor Kali Yuga, the worst times described in our scriptures. There's so much wrong and bad happening around us that we end up thinking that there has to be something higher, which will uh, which will really protect us from so much that is going on, uh, that will elevate us from the position that we are in currently, that will take us higher. So in search of that, we end up seeking, and we end up going to a lot of wrong people who later come out as not even gurus but as crooks. And in all of this, there has to be something that is actually true. There are a lot of fake things out there, but all fake things are made in the pattern of something that is real. There is some truth behind it because they all mimic something that could be real. That state of becoming higher, that state where we achieve something higher, where we um, get a connection with the God, which is literally the meaning of the word yoga, which means union of with the divine. That achieving that is what drives us, and it could drive us in a lot of things. Sometimes we think that we may earn a lot of money and that will give us a good life, or we think that we could, you know, maybe look at power, or maybe we could look at our family or something like that. And we try and keep seeking and searching uh, for the meanings of our lives, for something that will make our lives better in every shape and form. Unfortunately, it is very difficult, and there is a lot of confusion, and we don't even know what to expect when we talk about yoga and meditation and self-realization. There's so many wrong things that are being talked about. For example, uh, there are some gurus that started a flying practice where they say that you start flying after you get your realization, or some other absurd thing like that. So this is so when we say that we are supposed to become something higher, we are in a particular state right now, and we are saying that we have to grow higher from this. What will be the change inside us that will make us higher? Will it be a physical change? Will we become Superman or something like that? No. Will it be that we become all super rich people? No. Will it mean that we will have any kind of super, uh, any kind of extraordinary powers that will start governing? That is not the point, and there's so many things that we uh, uh, understand as something that will, you know, culminate once we achieve something higher. Our ascent that has to happen till that has happened till now, till the human stage, has happened both on the physical and the mental level. So on in our consciousness we have ascended as well. So physically we have come up to this stage from amoeba stage. Also we have ascended in terms of a society, in terms of our understanding of what's good and what's bad. So many things we have understood and grown into. Now the next step that has to happen in our consciousness only. Our consciousness has to expand, and it has to become one with the divine. That is what is going to happen. Now that is a very vague statement for most of us, and it doesn't really tell us what is really going to happen. So what is going to happen is going to happen by the grace of awakening our Kundalini. When our Kundalini rises, it connects us with the divine that is all pervading, and our consciousness becomes one with the the unconsciousness. So we can say it becomes one with the divine, and we all get connected. So when we say we get connected, it's like there's so many computers that are all connected with one server. So what we get is collective consciousness. Then the power of the divine starts flowing through us. how does that happen? Is because once the Kundalini pierces the Sahastrara, the divine starts flowing through us, and it cures us in all shapes and formats, in our physical, emotional, mental being. We feel it on our hands in meditation as cool breeze. Also, it tells us what's wrong with us in terms of our chakras. So up till now, we don't know what's wrong with us. Suddenly, we develop a disease and we go to the doctors and they say that this is the disease with you. For the first time, we really know inside and out what's right and what's wrong with me. What kind of personality I am, what I need to work on, how can I improve this. That we get to know for the first time. Also, as I mentioned, we become collectively conscious, so we can know about others. After that, there comes a state when we know how to cure ourselves and others as well. So all this happens by the grace of awakening of the Kundalini. We can make our lives better. We can make lives for everyone. We can make them better. We can give self-realization to others. There are so many great things that come to us when we get our self-realization, when we get the union. And this is not something that somebody can, certify us that now I am a realized person, so I can give it to others. It's because I get the vibrations on my hands, I feel the Kundalini, I can know what is happening, and I can give it to others. So it's all self-certification. We know it, we know it's happening, and that's how we believe it. So in Sahaja, there is no course, there is no real organization as such. There is no way to tell that now you are a Sahajogi, you are a practicing Sahajogi. It's being in that state of meditation for ourselves, feeling the vibrations of the divine flowing through us ourselves. That tells us that yes, we have got it. This is self-realization. This is the awakening of the Kundalini. And once we get it, the benefits are just amazing. There have been so many miracles in Sahaja by Shri Mataji's grace that are really not even countable. There are lots of things that get better for us, and our lives become much, much better. The biggest thing is that we come to realize what we are made for by the Almighty. The Almighty, in His all wisdom, made us to be something very, very great. Right now, we can easily say that the human beings are not at a very great stage. There's so many things that are going wrong. This is not what He would have imagined for us. So for sure, definitely there is something that is still missing. So what is that? Is our last jump that is required. And that jump happens in our consciousness. There's a lot to talk about in Sahaja Yoga, but just briefly, one more thing. So we have talked about yoga, the union, what happens, Kundalini awakening, what are the benefits. The word Sahaj is very important as well. So interestingly, in Sahaja Yoga, there's nothing you can do to get the realization. We just have to sit in meditation and pray for it. So it's like a seed is there, it's all ready. It just needs to be put into the Mother Earth, given some water and sunlight. It sprouts on its own. That is exactly how Sahaj Yoga works. Sahaj means spontaneous, something that is very easy and spontaneous. So that is what Shree Mataji tells us, that this is something that happens spontaneously. There needs to be someone who can give you the realization. There needs to be an authorized person to do it. As Ramdas Swami has said, when Shivaji Maharaj asked him that, how do I get my realization? How long does it take? He said, it happens in the time that you mount your horse, you put your leg on one side and you're putting it on the other side. The time you take on doing that. So he meant that very instant, that kshan. But just you need someone who can give it and someone who can take it. So that's about Sahaja Yoga. It's something that's very spontaneous. Shree Mataji says that you cannot do anything, you cannot pay for it, you cannot stand on your heads, you cannot read books. Nothing will give it. You don't have to be somebody who's learned person, or who is a rich person, or who is of some color or creed or jati or dharma, anything. Anybody from any part of the world is capable of getting it, because that's how we have been made by the divine. So in Sahaja Yoga, all religions are, we worship all religions, prophets and gods. When we say we worship, we really practice what they taught us. Also, Sahaja Yoga is now practiced in around 150 countries. Uh, Lots and lots of people practicing it, but it's not advertised as such. It's just how we reach out to you reach out to others with word of mouth, because you have benefited from it, so you talk to others about it. That's how it is really expanded so much. Shree Mataji started Sahaja Yoga in 1970. She got married to Sir C.P. Srivastava, who happened to become uh, the head of International Maritime Organization, which is a UN organization, and was posted in London for 7 consecutive terms. And that is how Shree Mataji traveled a lot across the world and told people about Sahaja Yoga, about the way of life that is Sahaj, and how to get realization, how to cure yourself, how to give it to others. So this, very briefly, in very short, is about Sahaja Yoga, Kundalini Awakening, Shree Mataji. What we'll do is very quickly we'll just talk about the subtle system inside us, and we'll just have a chart coming up in front of us on the screen. So from the outside, we all look very different, but from the inside, this is how we have been made. When we are in our mother's womb, God's power enters inside us from the top of our head. There is a soft bone here in children, if you would have seen, and it pulsates. This is the place called as the Brahmarantra, the whole of the divine. And this is where the power enters us, and it refracts into 3 different powers, which we call as the Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, and Mahakali powers. And because our brain is made like a prism, so this refraction happens into 3. And the power that comes from the center then creates these 7 centers inside us, which look like these flowers that have been shown in different colors here. These centers and these nadis that get created from this power control everything inside us: our physical being, mental being, emotional being, spiritual being. All of them are governed by these centers and nadis. There are many centers and nadis, but the main ones are these 7 and these 3 inside us. The leftover power that we say has created us comes down and resides in our sacrum bone at the very end of our spine. Interestingly, this bone has been called as sacrum by the Greeks. So they probably knew there was something sacred about this bone. This power is called as the Kundalini Shakti, and the reason is because it sits in 3.5 coils. So coils means kundal in Sanskrit, and this is the mother power, so it's called as Kundalini. When we say it's our mother power, what it really means that she has been there with us all our lives. She knows everything about us, and she is desperate to give us our second birth. She's the one who gives us our second birth by giving us our self-realization. So there's a very interesting concept here. Brahmins have been called as Dvijaha. Dvijaha means twice born. So the real Brahmin is somebody who has got his self-realization and is twice born. It's very similar to how a bird is also called as Dvija in Sanskrit, which really means that first it comes out as an egg, then it breaks out and becomes a bird. That is what it is to become self-realized. These chakras and nadis, as we know, are really in the gross. They are manifested as a nervous system and the plexuses. So the science, medical science knows there are 7 plexuses placed in exact same positions as these chakras. So we feel the state of these chakras and nadis on the hands, because the nervous system ends on our hands and our legs. So in meditation, we keep our hands open in our lap like it's shown in the diagram, and we feel the status of these chakras and nadis on our hands when we meditate. So what we'll do is just quickly talk about the 3 nadis and 7 chakras in very brief details. On the left hand side is the Ida nadi, which is governing our left sympathetic nervous system. This is also called as the Chandra nadi, the moon channel. This channel governs our past. Everything that's happened in our past comes and settles down here. Also, this nadi governs all our emotions, our desires. So our emotions and desires are all governed by this nadi. And if we are somebody who's too emotional, always thinking of the past too much, somebody who is prone to depression, is somebody who's working too much on this channel and is using it too much. So in Sahaja Yoga, we understand that every kind of imbalance leads to a lot of problems. They could be physical, mental, emotional problems in our lives. So for example, if this channel is used too much, then we end up developing psychosomatic diseases, which are so-called incurable diseases in medical terminology. We can feel the status of this nadi on our left palm in meditation. On the right-hand side, the yellow one that we see is called as the Pingala nadi. This channel governs all our action. Also, in the cross, it governs our right sympathetic nervous system. When we say that this channel is governing all action, it means mental action and physical action. So all our mental activity, all our thinking also happens from this channel. People who are very aggressive, all the time very futuristic. So this channel is also responsible for our future. So very futuristic people are always working too much on this channel, and this gets heated up because this is the sun channel, Surya nadi. When that happens, we develop n number of diseases because of that. So there's past on the left, there's future on the right, there is depression on the left, there's aggression on the right. So what is in the center is called as the Sushumna nadi. This channel governs our parasympathetic nervous system in the gross. We are all the time caught up in thoughts. 24 hours, we keep on thinking. And what do we keep on thinking is about either the past, something that has happened is no more relevant, or something that has not yet happened, about the future. And all the time we are jumping on the cusp of these thoughts from one thought to another to another. We don't even know that we are jumping from one to another. Coming in the center is how we come into the Sushumna, which is the channel from which Kundalini will rise. So people who lead very balanced lives, are not very aggressive and not go too much into depression, not thinking too much about the future or the past. Such people lead a very normal, balanced life and get their realization very, very quickly. Not that others don't. It may take some time for some of us, but all of us do get it. So this is the channel from where Kundalini rises and pierces our Brahmarandra and gives us our realization. What we'll do is just quickly touch upon all the 7 centers now. The first one is called as the Mooladhara Chakra. This is adorned by the one we worship the first, Shree Ganesha. When we say worship in Sahaja Yoga, Shree Mataji has taught us that worshipping really means following the values of the gods, goddesses, the prophets, the saints that have come on this earth and have taught us how to lead our lives. Shree Ganesha's qualities are really innocence, wisdom, mangalmayata, pavitrata, piety, we can call maybe in English. There aren't right words in English to describe this, but mangalmayata we understand. So anything that goes against innocence is going against Shree Ganesha. What do we mean by that? If we go against sex in any way, we are going against him. If we are very, very conniving people, we are going against him. When this chakra gets awakened inside us, we get complete wisdom of what's right, what's wrong. We know what to do. Especially in children, when they develop it at an early stage, they don't do anything wrong in their lives. They know what's right, what's wrong. So having this chakra strong is extremely important because here's where Sri Ganesha gives an indication to his mother, Gauri Kundalini, that yes, there is somebody authorized in front of us and you may rise now. So he stands guard as is told in our stories. We can feel the status of this chakra at the very end of our palm. Here it is shown in the diagrams as well. And moving forward, the next chakra inside us is called as the Swadhisthana Chakra. This chakra is governed by Brahmadev Saraswati, who are the creators of this universe. Verily, their greatest quality that comes inside us is creativity. We go against this chakra by going into wrong kinds of vidyas. Saraswati is the giver of the pure knowledge. When we go to tantrikas or some wrong gurus who use some wrong kind of vidyas, the left part of this channel goes off. So there are three parts of every channel. Also on the right hand side, this chakra is responsible for all our mental and physical activity because this is where the right channel starts. Also, this chakra is governing our pancreas, our liver, uterus in women, so many organs that are here in this area. When we are somebody is thinking too much, then this chakra is providing the energy for converting the fat cells from our stomach that go and get converted into gray cells into our heads. And it's overdoing that. So it's not able to take care of our organs. Such people who think too much, are worried too much, planning too much, end up developing liver issues, diabetes, and so many such diseases. When this chakra gets awakened, we come into a balance. As I mentioned, creativity develops. And again, once again, in children, it's really amazing when this chakra gets awakened. So many people in Sahaja Yoga have developed so many art forms because of the grace of this chakra. We can feel the status of this chakra on both of our thumbs, left and right. After this chakra comes the Navi Chakra. So the Navi Chakra is governed by Lakshmi Narayan. They are the ones who take care of our complete benevolence. When we say benevolence, in terms of our family, in terms of our monetary situation, in terms of our complete well-being. So they are the ones who take care of that. Also, this chakra, when awakened, we become like them. We become generous. We take care of others. We become great hosts. We become essentially givers and generous people. There are various qualities associated with this chakra, but one of the greatest ones is this is responsible for our evolution. So we know that Sri Narayana came on this earth in different stages of evolution. First was the fish, then a tortoise, then Narsimha and Vamana, and so many avatars happened until Sri Krishna. So he's the one who's brought us up to this stage. Also, our seeking starts from this chakra. When we say seeking, at animal stage, we are seeking maybe food. We may have been seeking shelter. We may have been seeking some other things. As we come into the human stage, we start seeking so many other things that we've talked about, like money, power, etc. Slowly and gradually, this seeking turns into seeking God. When we get really tired of all of the other seekings, that is when we realize that this is not it, this is not it, this is not it. Then we turn to the right path and we figure out that seeking God is the highest. So our evolution happens because of the grace of Sri Lakshmi Narayan on this chakra. We can feel the status of this chakra on both of our middle fingers, the longest fingers. Around this chakra, the green kind of a circle that has been shown is called as the Bhavasagara, the void. We have heard the reference of Bhavasagara in so many of our bhajans and scriptures. And literally we say that, "Oh Mother, please take us across this mire of this Bhavsagar, this worldly mire." So this Bhavsagar is governed by the Guru principle inside us. Sri Adi Guru Dattatreya resides here in the form of 10 incarnations that he has had. And they are various prophets that have come on this earth, like Muhammad Sahib, Guru Nanak, Shri Sainath, Lao Tse, Confucius, Zoroaster. So many have come on this earth, Moses, who at different points of time, in different societies, taught the people how to lead their lives, how to lead a balanced life, how to lead a righteous life, a religious life. So the religions that we made out of them are not the real religions. All of them have taught us something that all culminates into one thing. They are not different religions. And we realize that when we come to Sahaja, they taught what was necessary at that point of time in that point of society. So the true religion inside us is established by all of them. And that true religion tells us that this is not right, this is not good, this is good. When we see something truly horrible in front of us, we end up puking. Even when we say that we take the alcohol for the first time, which has been prohibited by so many of these great saints, so many people end up puking. So this is true that the religion stays in our stomach and it tells us what's right, what's not right. And it's adorned by the great prophets that have come on this earth to tell us what's the religion inside us. When we go to wrong gurus who are not really gurus, this chakra gets caught up very badly. Also, we can feel this chakra on our palms at around the very center of the palms. So sometimes in meditation, we feel like something's moving in the palm right around the center of the palm in circles, going in circles. So that is when Kundalini gets stuck here. After this comes the Anhat Chakra, which is governed by Sri Jagadamba, the mother of the universe. She's the one who gives us the confidence and the protection, the security. When this chakra is not okay, people are mostly afraid and they develop a lot of diseases because our antibodies also get developed from here. Let's say women who feel insecure with the family or the husband, they may develop diseases like breast cancer. Children who get weak and sick a lot are probably who are very afraid. On the left hand side is Sri Shiv Parvati, and this is the place of the spirit inside us, the Atma. Atma is the reflection of the Paramatma, the divine, the power of the God himself. His reflection inside us is called as the spirit. This spirit is always watching and is in a state of witness, but it's not in our consciousness till now. When we get our realization, the spirit comes into our consciousness and it guides us. We become one with it. On the right hand side is placed Sri Sitaram, who taught us the maryadas of life, how to lead a life perfectly as a perfect son, father, king, so many things that the both of them taught in their lives. So when we go against those maryadas in any shape and form, this chakra on the right hand side goes off. These chakras on the left and right side are also responsible for relationships with our mother and father. Sometimes if they are not okay, or if people have lost their mother or father, this chakra can also go off. We can feel this chakra on the very small fingers of our hands. After this comes the Vishuddhi Chakra, which is governed by Sri Radha Krishna. This chakra is responsible for all our communication. So our hands are governed by this chakra. Our ENT, ear, nose, throat is governed by this chakra. All our facial expression, everything outside part of the eyes is governed. So all our communication leads to the collectivity. So we become a very collective person when this chakra is awakened. This chakra gets caught up because of a lot of things. One other great quality that is to be mentioned here is that we develop the witness state inside us that Sri Krishna has talked about. When we develop this chakra, we become very, very sweet to others like he was. We become very diplomatically, we are able to handle people through our communication. This chakra gets caught up on the left hand side when we are somebody who's feeling very guilty. We always say, oh, I'm so bad, I'm good for nothing, I'm this, I'm that. Then this chakra gets caught up a lot. It's very bad because when this chakra gets caught up, we don't feel the vibrations on our hands because this chakra governs our hands. The nerves for our hands go from this chakra. Similarly, on the right hand side, this chakra can got up if we are somebody who's always telling bad things to others. You're no good, you're so bad, being aggressive, shouting, using abusive words. So on the right hand side, this chakra can go off. Also, tobacco intake can really hamper and ruin this chakra. We can feel this chakra on our index fingers. After this comes the Akiya Chakra. This chakra is placed at the optic thalamus at the very crossing of the Ida and Pingla nadis inside us. That's very symbolic of the deities that are here. So Christ resides here on this chakra. On the left and right are Mahavir and Buddha. So all of them have talked about forgiving others. That's the most difficult part for most of us, and we are all the time we are keeping grudges and not forgiving others. This chakra doesn't open until we actually forgive others. When the Kundalini passes through this chakra, it sucks in two very important bodies inside us, which are formed by all our karmas. So the ego and superego. The right channel comes to the left hand side, and the yellow balloon that we are seeing is what is ego inside us. All our actions that we do in our lives lead us into developing an ego, which is very understandable because whatever actions we do, it culminates into an ego. Similarly, on the right hand side is what we call our conditionings. Our learnings in life, whatever we learn, whatever conditionings are brought upon us, they all culminate into our superego. One or the other of these two are always dominating in our personality, and they are covering up this chakra, this path for Kundalini to pass through. So when Kundalini passes through Agya, it sucks in both of these entities, and the path opens up for it to pass through. We can feel this chakra on our ring fingers, on the both hands, or left and right part. The last chakra at the top of our head is called as the Sahastrara Chakra. The word Sahastrara literally means 1,000 petaled. So this is the 1,000-petal chakra. In medical science, we know that if you cut the brain at this point, there are 1,000 nerves coming here. So this is the chakra that is the door. From here, the Kundalini comes out and it gives us our connection with the divine, our union with the divine. This is the place for integration. All our chakras get integrated here in our head. Also, we get integrated with the divine through this chakra. We can feel the status of this chakra on the very center of both of our palms. We feel the cool vibrations coming into our hands. Now, these vibrations have been talked about very, very vividly in many scriptures. For example, Adiguru Shankaracharya, the first Shankaracharya that happened in the country, who can be called as the establisher of our dhams and so many things in the country, he talked about this. He said that when Mother's grace comes, you feel the Chaitanya, Salilam Salilam, like a cool breeze flowing. In Bible, it's written that when the Holy Ghost will come, you will feel the cool breeze. In Quran, it said that when Qiyamah's time will come, your hands will speak, and they will give shahadat, means they will give witness against you. So how would that happen? How could that possibly happen? Now Shree Mataji has really proved all of those scriptures to be true for us, and we have felt those vibrations coming from our hands So this is what it is, and in theory, there's a lot to talk about. There's Mataji's thousands of lectures where she has explained everything in great details. But now we'll go for the most important thing, and we'll go for the meditation session now. There are a few steps to follow, which we'll just see, and after that, we'll do those steps with closed eyes. So, in the first step, what we do is put our right hand on the Mother Earth, put our left hand open in our laps. Here, we'll have some prayers when we meditate. After this, we'll bring our right hand into our lap and put the left hand towards the sky. Here again, in meditation, we'll have some prayers. After this, we'll put both our hands on the Mother Earth. And we'll have some prayers in meditation. Now we'll bring both our hands back into our laps. Now the rest of the actions are all going to happen with our right hand. We'll keep the left hand as is open and use our right hand only. We'll put the right hand on our heart where there's the spirit inside us. We'll be doing some prayers here. After this, we'll bring this hand on our forehead across and press a bit like we would in a headache. After this, we'll bring this hand at the back of the head and push back our head up towards the sky. The last step, we'll bring our hand on the top of the head. We'll pull back our fingers and just use the center of the palm and put it on the fontanelle bone area, which was the soft bone when we were kids. Here we have to press hard, and while pressing, we have to move the scalp with our palm in a clockwise direction. We'll move the scalp with our palm in a clockwise direction. While doing this, we'll have some prayers again. These are all the steps that we have. Now, Shree Mataji's photo will come on the screen. It's easy to understand for us that just doing some steps is not going to give us a realization. As we talked about, that there has to be someone who is authorized, who can give us a realization. That is Shree Mataji. Luckily, her photograph has great vibrations flowing through them. And those vibrations can raise our Kundalini and give us our realization. So we have to sit with complete humility and utmost respect. And in our hearts, we have to say that, Mother, I do want my self-realization, Mother. Please, today, graciously provide me with the highest, give me the highest, Mother. Give me my self-realization, Mother. Please give me my self-realization. We'll look at Shree Mataji's photograph with respect, and slowly we'll close our eyes. We'll just look inside and see what is happening. Is our attention inside? Now we'll put our right hand on the Mother Earth. Keep our left hand open in our palms, open in our laps. Here we have to say that, Mother, please clear out my Ida Nadi. Mother, please take out all the imbalances of my left channel and clear it out through the Mother Earth. Mother, please bring my Ida Nadi into complete balance. While saying this, we'll put attention on our palms and see what is happening. I'll bring the right hand back into a lap. Put the left hand towards the sky with our elbows bent. Here we have to say that Mother, please clear out my Pingla Nadi. Please take out all the negativities of my Pingla Nadi through the ether element or the sky element. Mother, please bring my Pingla Nadi into complete balance by taking out all its negativities, impurities through the sky element, the ether element. Again, while saying this, we have to keep our attention on both our palms and just see what is happening. Now we'll put both our hands on the Mother Earth. Here we have to say that Mother, whatever imbalances are still left in my left and right channels, please take them out through the Mother Earth and bring me into complete balance. Mother, please take out all the impurities of my Ida and Pingla Nadis and bring me into the center, into complete balance. Now we'll bring both our hands into our lap. We'll keep our left hand open in our lap as is and use the right hand for all the future steps. We put the right hand on our heart. This is the place of the spirit inside us. Here we have to say, we have to state a fact. Mother, I am the pure spirit. I am not this body, not this mind, not these desires, not these thoughts, not this ego, not these conditionings. Mother, I am just the pure spirit. And this is the fact. It's very important for us to say this. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am nothing else but the pure spirit. Now, as we are the pure spirit, we cannot be guilty of anything. We just have to take out that thought from our minds of self-guilt completely, because we don't feel the vibrations otherwise, as we talked about, because the Vishuddhi Chakra gets caught up. So you have to say, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, by your grace, I am not guilty at all. And say it with full confidence and leave it to the Mother Kundalini to judge you. Mother, I am the pure spirit and I am not guilty at all. Now we bring this hand on our forehead and put it across like we would in a headache. We have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone. And just give a blanket forgiveness to everyone. Don't think about anyone. But it's very important that we forgive. Unless we do that, this chakra doesn't open up. So just say, Mother, I forgive everybody. I also forgive myself. Now we take this hand at the back of the head and push back our heads. Here we have to say that, oh Lord, oh God Almighty, if we have done any wrong against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive us. Oh God, if we have done any wrong against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive us. You can rest the hand a bit. Now we'll bring this same hand, right hand, at the top of the head and we'll pull back our fingers completely. Just with the center of the palm, we'll press on our fontanelle bone area and we'll rotate the fontanelle bone area scalp in a clockwise direction with our palm. We'll rotate our scalp with our palm while pressing. Here we have to say, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me union with the divine. Mother, please give me my Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Shree Mataji says that I cannot give it to you unless you ask for it. So we have to be very humble and ask for it. Mother, please give me my self-realization. You can bring the hand back into our laps. Keep our attention where we had kept our hand and be in meditation for half a minute. We'll bring the hand back on the top of the head where we had just kept the hand and raise it a few inches above top of the head. Here we can see the cool breeze coming out of our head and hitting our palms. You can move the palm a little bit and see it would be coming from a particular place on the. You can bring this right hand into a lap again and try with the left hand just above the fontanelle bone area, 2 to 3 inches above. We'll move our hand a bit and see there will be a particular place from where this breeze would be coming. We'll bring the hand back into a lap. Now we'll put both our hands completely up towards the sky, palms towards the sky, open, and push our heads back. We have to ask one fundamental question here. one of these three, that, oh God, is this your power of love? Is this Param Chaitanya? Is this the divine power that has created the whole world? You can ask any one of these three questions thrice. In response, vibrations will improve on your hands. Bring the hands back into your lap and we'll just sit in meditation for half a minute more while keeping our attention on the top of our heads. We can slowly open our eyes and look at Shree Mataji's photo. This is the first state that we achieve after realization, which is the state of thoughtless awareness, where we are beyond thoughts, but we are fully aware. You find that you can continue looking at her photo without thinking in meditation. We bring both our hands in a namaskara and thanks to Mataji for this blissful meditative state. It's imperative to understand that this is just the very first state, first step for us. There's a lot to achieve and learn in Sahaja Yoga, which we only achieve by experiencing, by going deeper into meditation, by practicing Sahaja Yoga, as in meditating every day in the morning and in the evening. Shree Mataji has told us various ways to clear ourselves out, to keep us in balance and protect ourselves. All of that we should learn and practice every day to go deeper. I would urge all of you who have joined for the first time to continue doing this, attending any one of these three sessions for some time, to really establish this experience and know for yourself what Sahaja Yoga is. Jai Shree Mataji. Siddhi, over to you to explain the rest. Jai Shree Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji. If any one of you have a question or any experience you want to share, please you can write on the live YouTube chat, or you can also join the Zoom call right now to share the experiences. Also, we have a WhatsApp group chat where we share all the techniques of Sahaj Yoga given by Shri Mataji. So you can join that WhatsApp group chat as well. All the links are provided in the YouTube chat. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji. Satya, I guess there are no questions today. So
Yes.
maybe we can end this. You could also tell about the programs a bit and then end this.
Jai Shri Mataji. Maybe Bhaiya, you can tell about the programs. I'm not
No,
that
no, just the
much.
daily ones. So for everyone's
Ah,
sake, we are having 3 sessions every day. One in the morning at 8, one in the afternoon at 4:15, and one in the evening, which is this one, the 7:45 one. Only on Saturdays we have this in English. Other days we have this in Hindi. So if that suits you better, you can join the other days as well. Also, for those of you who have now understood Sahaja Yoga a bit more and have gained certain experiences by now, you can join the 5:30 session where we go for a deeper meditation session as well. And in all these sessions, we do have question answers at the end. So if you have any questions, you want to share your experiences, you can talk to us and get them resolved as well. That is all for today. We thank Shree Mataji a lot for this amazing blissful meditation. And with that, we'll end the session today. Jai Shri Mataji.